Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and today I got a video coming at y'all. Today is August 22nd, man. We're 1 week away from the release of NBA 2K Early Access. And with that being said, I just want to go over a quick video, just kind of going over things that you should be considering while making your build for 2K26, specifically your first build, right? You don't want to get off on a bad start and spend your VC on the wrong thing and then have to go buy more or not have enough money to go buy more, So I just want to kind of go over a few things that you should really be looking into before you say, hey, this is the build I'm making and what it could mean for the future potentially. And with that being said, badge perks is the first thing I really wanted to go into. As y'all know, this year they have added the addition of Max Plus 2s, which, as you know, if you played last year, you know what Max Plus 1s are. They still have them. They bring your badge up one tier. Now, you can also get a badge to go up 2 tiers. So if you have gold, you can now have a badge at legend, which is honestly crazy just to even think about. But obviously, with that being said, as y'all know, these Max Plus 1s and now Max Plus 2s, they are going to be in the Battle Pass, right? So you have to either buy your way to the Battle Pass or grind your ass off to get them. Whichever way you do it, obviously you're not going to have these off rip, and they reset every season, obviously. So this is something to take in consideration. Look at your badges, say, hey, what badges do I need at this level that maybe I want higher, but I don't necessarily need higher? Or, hey, maybe I could get a bunch of gold badges knowing that, hey, by the end of the season, I'm going to have the one badge I really want on Legend with my Max Plus 2. So there's a lot to look into. So you get a tier 1 badge, you go up 1. A tier 2 badge, you go up 1. A tier 1 badge, you go up 2. And a tier 2 badge, you go up 2. So all I know is this year builds are going to be absolutely freaking insane, bro. I mean, it's not even it's not even a question. It's not even a question. You know what I mean? And this is not even considering, what we got going on down here still. I don't know what this clutch gene shit is. A badge current level and raises it 1 in clutch moments near the end of the game. Oh, this is a seasonal thing, so it'll boost your badges toward the end of the game. That's kind of a neat way of doing things. But the other important thing I wanted to talk about is these right here, which is going to be your specialization. I don't know if they have it on here. So, okay, here it is. So your specialization. This is another thing you need to be looking into when making your build, y'all. All right. This is going to be very important and vital for the future of your build potentially, right? So each build gets to pick one of these. I think once you finish it, you have everything unlocked in here, but it's quite excessive to get it. I don't think they have the screen on here. They showed it in the trailer, but for shooting, to get the last tier, which is tier 11, I think, you needed a combination of 2,000 mid-ranges and three-pointers made, which is a lot, right? You figure if you made 7 shots in one game, that's, you know what I mean? So just put that into perspective. But I don't know what the other categories require you to do, but as you see, you need to have a certain requirement, which is super low, by the way, which is the 60 mid-range, 60 three-pointer. So here's a cool thing you got to consider, right? Let's go back up to the badges real quick. So at the end, you'll get a Max Plus 2 and a Max Plus 1 based on the specialization category that you had chosen. Now, let's make this clear. It is important that you pick the right specialization for your build. I would say, honestly, you could make a whole lot of different combinations with this. Let's say, you're might not be the best shooter, but you only need a 60 mid-range and a 60 three-pointer to unlock this. So maybe, maybe you could bring your build from an okay shooting build to a fantastic, a pretty decent shooting build, right? As you get a Max Plus 1 and a Max Plus 2 in the shooting category once you finish up all those challenges. Or maybe you want to, you're good at shooting and you want to be great at shooting. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different, categories. And that goes for everything. Maybe finishing, playmaking, defensive rebounding you want to be better at. Either way, you get to pick one and you will get a Max Plus 1 and a Max Plus 2 in that category based on, how far into those challenges you have finished. So that's something to look into, right? You could really make your build very versatile depending on what your goal is when playing. it seems like this year they're really trying to make sure people have diverse builds, y'all. Okay, like, they want to make sure not everybody's build is, hey, this is the same stats, the same badges, the same shit that I'm boosting, right? They want to make sure that everybody, you know, has something a little bit different going on with their build. I'm sure there's always going to be a meta, and people always say, man, you know, get mad at that. And there's always going to be a meta. You know, we can't get away from it. But I think this is, you know, their way of saying, hey, we want to kind of help diversify, you know, what people are playing and what their builds look like. So no two people have the same exact build. And that brings us into the bottom part here. The custom takeover is not really something I was going to bring up, but I guess I'll bring it up now that it's here. I forgot about it. As y'all see, you can make custom takeovers. So, yeah, you can put that into consideration. I don't really know what the unlockable, how you unlock this, but this is a neat thing, so you can kind of build your own takeover. But the real thing that I wanted to talk about was these bad boys right here, cap breakers, okay? These are going to make builds, y'all. This shit is going to make builds completely different. I'm telling y'all, by halfway point of the year, we are going to be seeing some demigod type ass builds. There are going to be some crazy, crazy ass builds in this game. Let me tell you right now. There are going to be some crazy builds, bro. Let's take this into consideration. Look at this right here. Driving dunk is a 25. So, if you have lower stats, right, of certain stats, because as you see here, three-pointer, they're not going to let you get that boost on three-pointer, right? Obviously, that would be crazy. They're still only going to give you +1 of each. Because, you know, three-pointer is the most OP shit in the game. But scratch that. This right here is what I need to talk about. You could go from a 25 driving dunk. I did the math. You could go from a 25 driving dunk. If you put all 5 in here, you could go from a 25 driving dunk to a 76 driving dunk. Is that not just insane? You could go from a build that couldn't dunk at all to could semi-dunk the ball. Is that not crazy? Like, is that not freaking crazy, bro? Like, you could pretty much transform your build into a whole new type of build. So it seems like the lower the stat and the lower worth it the stat is, I guess that makes sense, the more you can get. Because, like, look, 26 three-pointer, but it's only +1, +1, and +1. But if you go up here, you have an 84, but it's +2, +2, +2, +2. So depending on how good the stat is and how low it is will kind of determine on what boost you get on it. But still, like, look at this. You could go from an 84 close shot to a 94 close shot if you boosted all 5 of these. Like, builds are going to change drastically based off of these cap breakers, y'all. And I wish there really was a way in the builder to kind of see, like, hey, can I look at my cap breakers for the future? That way you could kind of determine, hey, where do I want to put my stats at now? And where maybe I can put them in the future. I'm sure we're going to find out about park rep soon. So we'll get to see, like, where each unlockable is in the park rep system. I'm assuming they're going to do what they did last year. There's going to be 3 unlockables of 5 cap breakers you get each, which is going to be a total of 15. But this is really going to change builds, bro. I'm telling you, by the halfway point of the year, y'all, everybody's going to have a demigod build. Which is not, you know, it's not an issue. If everybody has it, then cool. You know what I mean? Then that's what it is. Obviously, some builds are going to be better at doing things than others based on height, wingspan, weight, you know, stats. Obviously, right? Everybody's going to have a different build. But this is going to change builds. And the one thing I noticed in the builder is they did make some stats heavier than last year. I remember I was looking when the builder first got announced. Somebody replicated a build that was in the builder. In 2K25, it was a 92, but in 2K26, it was a 93, meaning, hey, some of these stats are now heavier in 2K26, so you won't be able to get some of the same good stats that you can in 25. So it seems like the base builder is a little slightly more limited than it is this year, which is fine, because if you're going to be able to do max +2s and max +1s, plus have boosters based off your specialization, plus cap breakers going through the roof where the point you can go from a 25 to a 76 driving dunk, that's fine. You know what I mean? Make the builder more limited so that way this isn't so crazy to the point where people's builds are just unstoppable. But yeah, man, I mean, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting year. I think that was it when it comes to builds. But yeah, just take into consideration when you're making your builds here, y'all, that 1, think about your max plus 1s and max plus 2s. 2, think about, hey, where do I want to put my specialization at, and what do I want an extra max plus 1 or max plus 2 in that specific category in. And 3, what low stats can I bring up with my cap breakers, or what other stats can I boost with my cap breakers, right? Those are the 3 things you need to consider when making those builds, y'all. All right. I'm really excited, as I am every year when 2K comes out, you know. So I've been live streaming every day, y'all. So I hope y'all like this video. Make sure you leave a like and a sub, man. I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos leading up and when 2K drops on August 29th. I'll also be live streaming that day, as I have been for like the past month. I've been playing other shit like Rainbow Six, Overwatch, Fortnite, Minecraft. You know, I've been all over the place recently, but I will be strictly on 2K when 2K comes out for hopefully a long time. You know, 2K is one of my favorite games, and I would love to make it the main game I play all the time, and I would love to be able to play it throughout the year. But 2K recently has not been fun enough to do that, but I'm really hoping that they nail this bad boy at the park this year, because they have announced and fixed a lot of good things, and the builder's looking fun, and the new additions and updates to certain systems are also looking good. But either way, let me stop yapping. Either way, leave a like and a sub, man, if you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all whenever. Peace.